Hi friends, and today I found a way how to measure all my memory card speed, writing speed. I done a test. At the beginning of the video I will show you how to test your memory cards, especially CFExpress, if you want to understand how they are writing in what speeds. Why this is needed, you can ask. Because some of the companies writing speed, but this is not real writing speed. And what's the problem? For example, I will show you. Here is SanDisk Extreme. They written that write speed is 1200 megabytes per second. I use Nikon for video, and I found in help section the writing speed from different qualities. And for example, high quality NRAW 2-bit NEF, the best quality will be approximately 5780 megabits per second, but I converted it to megabytes per second because for me it's much easier to understand megabytes, because 1000 megabytes it's 1 gigabyte, for example, and all files I see in megabytes and gigabytes. For example, you can see that speed of writing is approximately 700 megabytes per second, and this is like capable of doing that. You just bought this card to write the videos, but there will be a big problem. Let's start recording, and you will see recording interrupted. Please wait. It done 2 seconds of writing and it drop off recording. Why it happens? Because if you take special hard drive or SSD test, there is problems that a lot of you know crystal disk speed write test, but it's not showing what we need. And here is HDTune Pro version, it's paid program, and you can see that this card I put 50 gigs to write to this card, and you can see that writing speed will be approximately 400 megabytes per second all the time, like straight line. And this is the reason why it can't do the blue line is reading speed. I don't care reading speed, because when I'm shooting pictures or videos, it's all about writing speed. The blue line is read speed and the orange is write speed, and you can see it's above 400 all the time. And now if you know that your card is able to write 400 megabytes per second, you just take your table with your quality and you understand that you can write only 4K video, 100p frames, and it will be approximately 360 megabytes per second. This is the biggest problem. When you buy, you can't trust what it's written, and you need to make special test how the camera will perform with your memory card. And you can see the best one speeds are here from my memory cards. Very interesting, I will show you. Some of the cards have a buffer. It means a short time at the start they can produce very good performance and very fast writing speeds, but after some time they are dropping because buffer is full. you can see here, like writing speed is above 800, and when I write 2 gigs and after that it drop below 300. It means you can write only some 2-3 seconds of best quality and then it's dropping, and the like main speed are something about 300 or a little above. And these measurements are you can see with other cards too. It was transcend, like this card, the same. You can see dropping off. Let's check with what cards have similar. Similar cards. For example, Belkin devices, 500 gigs, they are writing like this one, and the middle will be 290 megabytes per second, and this is crazy. I will show you and add link that you can see these tests. Unfortunately, this software are paid, and I will show you how you can measure it for free on Windows. And it's crazy. For example, this Perger 128, it's going like straight above 200 megabytes per second, and suddenly after 30 gigs the speed drops and continue like below 100. It means you can write 200 megabytes per second for some limited time. And after this test you can understand your card's performance, the real performance, and nobody of these brands are not showing it. I made 2 cards, like both SSD, what is inside, bought a case and put it inside. This Yeti card is very interesting. I will show you the markings. There was inside READY SSD card with number SN740, 256 gigs, and you see that like 25 gigs I was able to write like in very good speed above 800, and then it suddenly drops for 200. It means you can write some, I will say, 30 seconds of 8K raw video in a best quality, but after the 30, maybe 30 seconds it will drop in quality. And this HD Tune Pro will show you. And before you start testing your cards, you need to understand that the speed can be reduced by your memory card reader, wire, and your port on your computer. For example, if you have USB 3, it will reduce by 400 megabytes per second. If you take approximately these cards, they all will produce like 400 megabytes per second writing speed because limitations of USB 3. This is USB-C, and you need to search what's your computer speed of this USB-C contact. I will show you later on computer how you can find it. And you need to understand how your memory card reader, how fast it is. For example, here, this card, they are written 10 gigabits per second. It's approximately 1200 megabytes per second. This means I can test all these cards if my port, but often USB-C, it's capable of this speed. You can test it. Okay guys, let's continue to the computer and start testing, and I will show you how you can test your card without paying for software. And now I will show you how to test your memory cards in two ways. One will be for free. You don't need to buy any app, but it's not so correct. And second one will be like with a paid app, but it will be with more and correct information for you. The first, you need to understand your computer port, what is the limitation of its speed, because USB 3 can be limited, and better for that test is USB-C memory cards. And to know it, it's very quickly. There is CPU-Z software, which shows your memory motherboard name. Here is like Asus Prime B, it's for me. I just Google it and understand that I have USB 3.2 generation 2, and it's limited to 1 gigabits per second. If I don't know how it is, I can convert, and I understand then it is 1250 megabytes per second. Okay, this is right done, because older computers are limited to that speed. The next one, we need task manager. Just press start or Windows button on your keyboard and write task manager. You will be opening like this window, and you can switch to performance. You will see your all hard drive speeds. My memory card right now is in H. It's Burger 128 gigs. And now nothing happens. If you will try to copy from C to H, it will depend on your hard drives from what you are copying speed, and the better way is to generate new file. For this you need command prompt. You can just press start or Windows on a keyboard and write command prompt and try to run it in administration mode, and we will have that window. Next, you need to switch to your memory card. For me, it's H. I will write H. Right now, I'm here, and the command is fsutil file createnew test, and this is size, I think, in bits, and this is approximately 50 gigs of file. And after pressing enter, let's press enter. Nothing happens. Oh, here. And you can see here is starting writing process. It's showing us the speed of writing. And you can see it's like 600. It was going up and right now it's down. Here you can see a lot of memory cards at the beginning have a bump up of speed because of buffer, but now it's like all time will be approximately 220 megabytes per second. This is the speed of that card, and it's making this big file right now here, and after it will did, you will see this chart. Sometimes it's skipping these bumps, sometimes not. this is like free way how to test your memory card. I will try to cancel this test, and after this test don't forget to delete test file on your memory card, because it will stay there. I can't stop it right now, but better to allow it to finish till the end. And it's generating this huge amount in maximum speed of your memory card if memory card reader, wire and connection port allows it. You need to know that every other components are fast enough and in better writing speed. The next way is paid app. It's HDTune Pro. They have free version of HDTune, but it's not allowing us to make test. You need to buy it to cost approximately $30. I will run HDTune Pro, but it will be frozen because hard drive is right now fully written. And somebody maybe can ask why you need 50 gigs, because some memory cards have a big buffers and they can produce 30 gigs in fast writing mode, but after it will drop. And I have done tests different, and I think that 50 gigs are enough to understand your memory card CFExpress writing speeds if you will try to fully write it with video file. And remember, if you are a photographer and you shoot raw images, then your speed is not so important, because the camera will write in buffer all your images, and when the buffer will be full, then it will write on your memory card. But in video mode, camera is skipping this buffer and write directly to your memory card. Okay, let's try HDTune Pro. You can see I'm switching to my here too. I write 50 gigs mixed H drive, and let's start. And you will see it will start the same thing, writing file, and you will see the speed, the writing speed of 50 gigs of file. And it's very similar, but here you can better see the spikes and downs, and when the buffer will be full, if it have a buffer, because some memory cards don't have it, some have it, and it can change your card's performance. A lot of you are using Crystal Disk Mark for testing, but I was testing different cards, the slowest one, the fastest one, and because of that buffer, some cards showing the same measurements, the same results, but in camera it's a different. You need to write all the time and see what's happening with writing speeds, not so middle measurements or average. You need to get like sustainable write speeds. And guys, if you know different software for free, just please comment in comments what is the name of this software, how you can test, or how you can test on your MacBook. It will be interesting for me too, because the disk speed app don't show it too. It's working like Crystal Disk, showing some average writing speeds. and you can see that it's writing something approximately in 220 megabytes per second. And I will quickly show you my other memory cards. Here is AV Pro C. You can see that average speed is something like 788 writing speed. Belkin device power, it's something below 300 writing speeds. And they, on web page, they're writing they have 800 sustainable write speed, but it's never happens. Here is my custom edit 128 gigs A56B with the cheapest case for that, and you can see that it suddenly bumps up till 800 megabytes per second, and after like 6 gigs the speed is dropping and will be below 200 all the time. And you can see why other SSD MVI test software programs, they are showing some average from this, and here you can see how it will perform on your video recording. It's a Hoodman Steel 128 gigs. You can see perfectly constantly 850 megabytes per second. Here is a Lexar Pro 128 gigs, like 800 all the time. Perger 1 terabyte, new model from 2023, constantly like 900 writing speed. This is Perger 128 gigs, the same card right now. It's testing, and you can see 200 constantly. Here was some drops, maybe some Windows cache or some Windows decided to do something with this card and a little bit dropping of the speeds, but you can see the tests are very similar all the time. Here is Perger 256 gigs, like spiking a lot of, and the speed is approximately I can say 230 megabytes per second. Here is Perger 512 gigs. You can see it's like 350 megabytes with some spikes. I don't know why there are some spikes. Here is Pro Grade 256 gigs. You can see constantly 310 megabytes per second. This is Lexar, SanDisk Extreme Pro 128 gigs. The same 222 megabytes per second. Here is a Transcend 256 gigs, and short time it have a buffer and then constantly 300, little bit below 300 megabytes per second. Transcend 512, and this is my custom made VD Western Digital SN 740 256 gigs. You can see the buffer writing speeds and then suddenly dropping till 200. The same performance will be when your camera is writing video file. And of course, bitrates and how they will perform, writing speeds. Here you can see this is Nikon Z8 and Z9. bitrate, but I converted it to megabytes per second to easier understand. You can see that the best quality will produce in a second 700 megabytes file size, and you can see the lower will be like only 30 megabytes per second, but a lot of cheap cards are producing the speed approximately here, and you will be able to write only 4K videos, or maybe 8K too, but at lowest frames. And you can find these charts for your camera, only there will be bits per second. You can just convert them using Google and understand how your memory card will perform on your camera. Okay guys, thank you. I hope this will give you some information. You can test your cards and see and understand your cards and your camera. Thank you. Goodbye.